Hello, investors. Take two. It's Don Vandenbord with Revere Asset Management. Today is Monday, March 4th, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you from St. Augustine Beach, Florida, with tonight's Revere Market Insight video. First recording was audio only, no video. That's unacceptable. So here I am again. State of the market, we're in an uptrend since the O'Neill follow-through days back on November 1st and 2nd. You can see on the trend gauge over here, we've got the coveted 4 green arrows, meaning market leaders, plentiful and acting fine, and all 5 of the major indexes trending above the 3 time frames that we track, those being the short-term 21-day moving average, medium-term 50-day moving average, long-term 200-day moving average. So what happened today? We opened about flat, traded in a tight range for 5 hours, tried to break out 230, made an all-time high around 5150 on the S&P, and then promptly a hard reversal into the close. So 5150 capping the advance for now. Here are the numbers on the day. The big 7, 6 of the 7 down. NVIDIA salvaged the composite by being up 3.6%. The composite return down 0.51%. In-house GROTECTION, not bad for a negative close, down 0.06%. Half of the components red, half of them green. S&P 500 closed about where it opened, down 0.12%, equal weighted positive by 0.8. NASDAQ 100 trailed all day, down 0.36%, about the same for the equal weight NASDAQ 100. Dow down 0.25%. Mid-caps were the standout on the day, up 0.69%. Russell 2000 down 0.1% after being positive most of the day, but a late reversal by regional banks carried this down to red. Global 60/40 stock and bond down 0.15%. In-house GROTECTION positive by 0.03%. Giving up a lot of gains on that late afternoon reversal. Let's get to the charts, then we'll get to the tail of the tape, the S&P 500. I'll show the 5-minute chart here. You can see after basing the last hour and a half on Friday, we continued in that tight range for 5 hours today. 2:30, we tried to break higher, ran quickly up, started to go sideways around 5150, and then a hard reversal down about 320-ish. Quick move down, half an hour, but into the close and closing closer to the lows of the day at 5130. Did make a higher high. As I said, so now that 5150 level is looking like resistance. NASDAQ 100 lagging today, did not make a higher high, had a late reversal as well. Dow Jones Industrial Average consolidating after a gap up a week and a half ago. Mid-caps made a new high, also reversed, but breakaway gap for now, and definitely showing relative strength. And small caps, IWM, making a high, breaking above this flat base before pulling back and closing just above the VIX. The VIX was up most of the day while the index was up. That's always not something really that you want to see. And that closed up 2.9% on the day. The dollar closed or traded in a very tight range all day, opening and closing essentially flat. But gold and silver stocks had a great day today. Gold following up on the breakout out of the double bottom base with another gap up and close at the top of the range, up 1.62%. Although lagging on a relative strength basis, it now has R10 after breaking out. Something lagging can always repair its chart and play catch up. And gold stocks need to do just that. They've looked horrible, but back above the 21-day moving average and closing slightly above the downtrending 50-day moving average. You can see where I have my alert set here. You may not wait for that alert, as the individual components, some of them have decent charts, although they're not liquid enough to buy individually. So GDX or NUGT, which is the 2 times GDX, are on the shopping list for us, and silver up 3.3% on the day, breaking above the 200-day moving average. As good a day as they had. Bitcoin topped it, being up 7.4% after 2 gaps last week, another gap today, and holding it as institutions continue to add Bitcoin to their asset allocation portfolios. On to bonds now. BND tight range trade today. Bond prices down slightly. Same thing with TLT, meaning yields were higher. Here's the TYX. That's the long bond 30-year up, although near the lows of the day and getting rejected at declining. 21-day moving average TNX slightly up also, not by 0.9%. That's the tail of the tape, or that is our inter-asset correlation. Here's the tail of the tape. As the RSI turned in our favor today, it had been consolidating at the neutral level, but turned back up late last week. Day count, well, Bitcoin topped 67K and is now within 2,000 of its all-time high back in late 21. Day count up 2 with this one-day consolidation off the top. 8 days above the 8-day exponential moving average, 39 above the 21-day, including 82 out of the last 83. So with this late reversal on the downside today, biotech, oils, and XLC&Y. XLC is communication services. That's basically Meta and Google was down 2.8%. XLY is basically Tesla and Amazon, and Tesla was down 7.2%. Throw in biotechs and oils, which biotech had been leading lately, but it's very volatile. On the upside, as we mentioned, gold, silver, and gold and silver stocks, and then some defensive sectors, basic materials, industrials, utilities, and real estate. Portfolio changes. I mentioned Friday, SMCI added to the S&P 500. That caused a squeeze because it's heavily shorted. After the close, we bought a small percentage of it after the close on Friday. Were immediately rewarded, although it closed off the highs of the day. And also added Dell as it started higher, pulled back below the low of Friday's close, but an inside day. So this raised our beta a little bit. Bottom line on the day, tight range, 230 breakout to all-time high, but it reversed lower to close red. Is it time for a pullback, or is this just a shot across the bow? We need more information to come at us before we make that decision, but let's take a look at the charts now. So SMCI closed Friday at 9:05. When I started the video, it was at 9:30. Started the video on Friday, it was at 9:30. By the time I finished, it was at 9:80. Compared the risk reward, it took a small position in it, up 18.7% today, down off the lows, but yeah, this inclusion is a chance for a squeeze on this. And then we also added Dell. Inside day closed just below the high volume close of last week. 6 members of the portfolio down on the day, so we're fortunate to finish flat, as we had some good performers that offset those, namely Bitcoin, SMCI, and NVIDIA, Nutanix and AMD, and Lilly as well. But on the downside, NRGU down 2.71%. And again, these are all normal pullbacks, nothing to get overly concerned about. There's really one or two that are not doing what we want them to do, and we'll cut them if that continues. LABU consolidating now for the 5th day. Square, this is the one that we kind of thought about throwing out, but giving it a little bit of leeway here. Weatherford, oil's down today. This reverse down 3%. Ralph Lauren, disappointing day. This is down in sympathy with a downgrade on G3, another apparel manufacturer, down 3.7%, and Palantir down because it didn't get it added to the S&P 500 on Friday, down 3.6%. NVIDIA, as I said, continues to act well. AMD as well, although reversing the close near the lows of the day. Lilly touched 800. Just going through the portfolio holdings here. CrowdStrike has earnings tomorrow after the close. 3.6 or 3.7% size we have is adequate for our risk management, so we'll be holding that as we have significant gains headed into earnings. And IBIT, that's the Bitcoin ETF that we own, up 7.4% today. And does that cover everything? I think it does. Couple of standouts. Coin, with Bitcoin running, this broke to higher highs. Celsius with a follow through from last week's earnings report. If I could type Celsius, nice, very nice action there. After hours today, GitLab, computer tech services down 20%. Not all leaders have good earnings. See it broke out, had a decent run, pulled back. We were in this back around this area back in December. Then it made a run after we got stopped out below the 21-day moving average, but now down 20%. That's going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. The email's don@revereasset.com. The phone's 855-REAL-WEALTH. That's 855-732-5932. Our flagship portfolio is named GROTECTION because we grow assets by being heavily involved in the market leadership and the indexes when the markets are in an uptrend and getting out of the way during market downtrends, such as the COVID bear market, which we dodged, and the bear market of 2022, where we were down but lost significantly less as we followed our risk management rules. Reach out if you're interested, because it's not how much you make in the market, it's how much of that you can keep. And with that, I'll wrap up the video for Monday, March 4th. This is Don Vandenbord with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thanks for listening and have a great day.